I'm at a rare tip. Tell them all just stand down to the cup goal and the stands clear. I've been out running, top gunning competition, they know who the man here. I can never fail, I can never fall, counted up without a cashier. And last year was real 25, I'm a fast on their heels. Built the last, never last, up the gear, hit the gas, I'm a mash till a meal. I can't be lacking till it's sealed, cause they too extravagant to chill. I ain't missing no games, road game, watch me bring it home. I lost a couple out here, this a cold game, but I bounced back from it strong. We had it locked in before they known. It ain't no top 10, I'm the throne. This how you elevated without selling out. I kept it true to me, ain't never testing clock. Now they like, who is he? Who am I? Never tired of running through a knot. Breaking pressure if you knew or not, cause I can never settle for another spot. Up the level, I'ma make it hot, but I never sweat them. No, they wanna see a king down to his knees, please, I never let them. This is destiny and I rise every time. All of the odds I defy. They say the eyes never lie. Well, look in the mind, see the prize. Ball hard, no lesser. This dry mind, no Tesla. This whip glide like Dressler. Full court, I bring pressure. I bring pressure. I bring pressure. I bring pressure. I bring. Know they did it this big, I ain't show it like the rich did. Eating bread like the rich kids, sending headshots and getting gigs. I've been on the run for some months, you know I ain't stopping, they can see it. Vicious with the pen in they mid, could probably kill them all off the lid. This how the pastor act, you get no pass for that. Records my name in the books, you chasing the goal, probably give you a panic attack. Don't need no hand, I don't handling that. Look like they brought Mr. Innocent back.
Yup. Yeah, we're back at it again. It's Daily Drops with Dexter Dewayne. I'm Dexter Dewayne. We do this every single day. I think the dude Brandon said every day means every day. Bet, right? And this one's actually coming out a little bit late because I've been trying to figure out, what I really wanted to talk about today. Because the last thing that I want is this to become something where I'm just going through the motions. Going through the motions is just so numbing to the soul. So I was like, man, like what is it going to be? And then it hit me, right? It hit me. I want to start talking about outlets and how the right outlets will empower you and the wrong outlets will deplete you. So I used to work at a job that was constantly on fire, figuratively. There were constant fires all over the place. There were always problems to be solved. There were always things to learn. I was around people that were also eager to learn new things. And with my personality type, that was great for me. Like, it was stressful some days, but it was a good stress. Like, it was the stress that I enjoyed because I would leave that job for the day, go back home and research for another 3 or 4 hours just to see what I can do to make tomorrow a little bit better. And I absolutely thrived in those types of environments. So I recently switched to a newer environment where this pace is a lot more steady. I would say that the environment is a little bit more corporate based, which means we're kind of just going through a bureaucracy, manufactured hierarchy, that type of thing, where half of my job is just sitting and it hasn't been going great. It hasn't been going great from a spiritual side, from a momentum side, from an outlet side. Although it pays well, right? It pays well, but man, I just feel like I'm losing myself every single day when I walk into that building. I'm not going to lie to you. And, so I was thinking about like, And there is a part of my personality that needs to be solving problems like that. There's a part of me that just needs to be, putting on the cape and saving the world. I need that part of me to be active. So when I go into other areas of my life, I don't feel like I have to take control in that capacity. Does that make sense? Like I left it all on the field at work so I can come home and just be a regular person. But because there's nothing to leave, I feel like the rest of my life starts getting affected. So going to the topic of the day, like, is your outlet serving you? Is the thing that you're spending time doing serving your personal needs and your wiring? Let's run it all the way back. So I used to work in retail. I used to work in a parking lot, and people know me now as the systems guy, right? They know me as the structure guy, the analytical sort of person. And being in that parking lot all day could seem boring to most people. Oh, it's just a parking lot. Oh, it's just some shopping carts. But it challenged me. It challenged me as I got put in situations where I'm working by myself, or if I'm working with two people or three people, whether it's raining, whether it's cold outside, it's hot outside, whether my shift started early in the morning, it's middle of the day, whether I'm closing at the end. It was something that kept me busy, and it's also something that kept me physically active. So if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, I'll just break it down real quick. So you have a parking lot, and when people are shopping, they'll put their carts either somewhere in the parking lot or they'll put them in these little corrals. And my job was to take these carts and put them back up to the front of the store where they belong. You had to make sure there were little details of making sure everything was pushed up to the line. Um, Making sure you're not carrying more than 10 carts at a time. Make sure every corral was empty and just doing it efficiently. And I thrived there. It was an easy job. I was only getting paid minimum wage, but man, every day it's like, how do I do this job just a little bit better, just a little bit more efficiently? Because at the end of the day, no one really cared about that job. And when I left, I didn't really care anymore. It's not a job that's meant to be like, oh, well, let's, millions of dollars are on the line because a shopping cart is still in the corral. Like, no one really cared. But it was something I can chew on. And it was something that I chewed on for a pretty long time. I learned how to get a little bit better. I started solving Scooby-Doo mysteries. Like, man, we've got a automated cart pusher. And the guys would say, nah, well, no one really uses that. It's like, what if we did use it though? What if we learned how to figure it out? I'm not going to lie. There might have been some mistakes made. Not going to disclose any of those mistakes, but there was a lot of trial and error. But, it shifted from me learning how to do this job in the most efficient way and then teaching people. Right. So you have the learning aspect where I'm figuring it out. And then you have the teaching aspect to where it's like, hey, listen, this is all a bunch of chaos, but I kind of figured out some things, and I'm going to show you what I figured out if you just give me a second. And then they figure it out, and then they teach other people. And there's just a part of me that enjoys taking a mess, turning that mess into something that works, and then sharing that system with other people. I think that's something I just really love doing at my core. So going back to my current job, it's like, yo, like, I don't have anyone that could train me or teach me the problems that are existent aren't necessarily go out there and fix these problems. They're kind of like, oh, well, you got to wait on this person that waits on this person that blah, 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 might feel like doing something today or maybe next week. And, it's just a lot of like, it's just a lot of waiting around and being patient and making sure you're smiling and making sure you're shaking everybody's hand. And it's like, man, a lot of like work is just, I would say 10% of work is actual work, at least on my side. People around me are more concerned about whether or not they see me than they are things not being a mess. And I've been put in a situation where it almost feels like I'm underutilized because I feel like I can do so much more if you just let me off the leash. The whole point, right? All jokes aside, it's so important to have an outlet that serves you in your highest self. I think I talked about the DISC assessment a while back, figuring out what your highest score for your DISC assessment is and finding some sort of outlet that allows you to be that, so you don't feel like you're losing parts of yourself. So I've been doing some research and really trying to figure out, okay, what's that new outlet? What's that outlet for me? And I found that this is pretty good. I found that areas of fitness are really good for that. And I mean, it used to be music, so I might get back into that, but all I know is it's so important to have an outlet for the person that you are, to be that, instead of feeling like you have to dim your light in order to just belong. It's real important. It's real important to be you and be you at your highest level, and to not let society or friends or family or anybody else tell you that you can't be that. So that's the word of the day. We're out here.
Body deep, already know it's me, so what you asking for? Shorty bad and I just bought a bag and I ain't asking for it. She just bragging, I just send a jet to made back out the port. We be fly, we be cashing out, come keep me company. Shorty bad, so I'm a good. Got diamonds on her teeth, treat her good, she know I'm a boss, I'ma keep it P. Brody told, you just pick the side, get her right straight. Feel the pressure when it come, with my heart on my sleeve, I can never